mother, my father, my grandfather, they got killed in a car wreck down here, April 4th, 1990. Killed on Route 8, but they didn't mean to kill my family. You know what I mean? They didn't. They still alive, and I just want them to know I don't hold nothing against them. You know what I mean? I don't.
Live with regret because the debt can only be paid with my death, though. Smacking the gavel, he told the bailiff, take his ass to death row now. This conversation may include discussions about crime, trauma, addiction, or other difficult life experiences. Viewer discretion is advised. What school did you go to there?
I went to a school called Jonathan Burrs, where I went to elementary school at, and I went to high school right here in Maysville, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I was supposed to say that. But,
yeah, you could. So you went to Mason County High School?
For my first year, yeah, my parents, my mother, my father, my grandfather, they got killed in a car wreck down here. They moved me down here because I played ball a lot when I was young, and they wanted me to go to Mason County and then go to UK. But
all right, so you were how old when your parents got killed in the car wreck?
I was 14. My little brother was 11. And my little sister was 2.
So how long had you been from Chicago, out of Chicago by that time?
Oh, when they got killed?
Yeah.
Not even a year. We'd moved down here, and it wasn't not even a year had passed. Probably like 7, 8 months, and they got killed on Route 8 down there in 1990, April 4th, 1990. It was my mother, my father, my grandfather.
All in the same car?
Yes, sir.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah.
You
know, I know accidents happen, man. For a while, I hated them guys that, you know, I felt I wanted to get revenge on them. You know, I wanted to kill them for real.
No doubt.
And but I got older and got wiser, and I realized, man, accidents happen. They didn't mean to kill my family. You know what I mean? They didn't. And I'm not gonna mention their names or nothing like that on here, but they still alive, and I just want them to know I don't hold nothing against them. You know what I mean? I don't.
Damn, well, that's part of healing right there, Wayne.
It's the human condition, man.
Yeah, it's the human condition. And by, you know, letting go of that to whoever that is, you know, that's the hallmarks of progress. So, did your mom, dad, or grandfather have ties to this area? Is that...
Well, the ties to this area is my father's mother, my grandmother on my father's side, and she's from here, and that's we've been on and off all our lives, coming here visit our other family and stuff. You know, when we was little,
you'd always say, we're going down there and see them,
when
the countryside. The countryside of the family down there. Oh, I can hear you now.
Yeah. And then I remember they'd get us down here. My aunt Anita, she'd take us on the little country roads and try to scare us and stuff, and she would scare us.
Yeah.
She'd tell us there's ghosts in the roads and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'd get scared when we was little. That's one of my memories of coming here.
You're how old now?
I'm 51.
So whatever the math is on that, since 14, you've carried a load. How's that affected you think?
Man, it's affected me in a lot of ways. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know my parents and stuff are gone, and I know they're in a better place, and I know that there's not a doubt in my mind that where they went, because I just know, you know what I mean? I had good parents, and we lived in Aberdeen on the other side, and she was going to her brother's to cook for him, to help him with them. He had 3 boys, and she left him alone with them, you know what I mean? And she was going to clean the house and whatever she was going to do for her brother. Mm-hmm. And my little sister, she was supposed to go with him. She was going with him, and I remember that day, my cousin was supposed to come over and stuff, and we was going to play guitars and had some chicks coming over and shit. You know what I mean? It was my first year in high school up here, and you know what I mean? I done told my mom, I ain't watching her. And I remember walking my mom and dad out to the car, and I helped them put Sheila in the car, and she was already in the car with them, and they was getting ready back out, and I was like, here, give her here, I'll watch her. Fuck it, whatever, you know what I mean? My cousin looked at me, and I looked at him. I was like, I don't know why I said that. And to this day, I really don't. I don't know what made me say that, but I remember my dad respected her and took her seatbelt off and got her out of her seat and handed her to my mom. And she handed my sister out the window to me, and they backed out. It was the last time I seen them. And the whole day that day went by, and my little sister, she was asking about her mom and daddy, of course, and my uncle pulled in the driveway. My uncle, the one she was going to clean the house for, and I looked out the window and I seen him when he got out of the car. He was hysterical, crying and shit, and I was like, "What the fuck happened?" He come in there and he told me what happened, and it wilted me. I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's bad to lose anybody that you love, but if they're like older or sicker, you know what I mean? Sick or
to know it's coming,
kind of expecting it. It's still going to hurt. Don't get me wrong, but to just one day, boom, your parents are in their late 30s. My dad was 36, I think. My mom was 35, and they just boom gone. You know what I mean?
Papa, how was he?
Oh, my grandfather,
Yeah. Old.
62 maybe, something like that. He wasn't real old himself, but they was all in good shape. So my father actually, he made it to the hospital, but he died at the hospital.
So who informed you of their death? It was your
It was
uncle.
my uncle, yeah, my mother's brother, the one. Yeah, he
Did he set you down and say, "I got
No,
something to tell you"? He came in.
He just dropped it right on me, just right away,
Yeah.
as soon as he came in. Yeah, and I remember I was holding my little sister because she when my mom and dad wasn't around, she clinged to me and Mark, my
Yeah.
brother Mark. God rest in peace, Mark. I love you, man. And it really hurt me, my brother, because
Yeah.
you know what I mean. He was the closest thing that I had. Everything me and him did, we did it together, man.
No doubt.
And
Do you feel like you saved your sister by getting her out of the car?
oh, definitely. But then, you know what I mean, there was times that I thought, well, maybe that split 5 seconds or whatever it was that it took them to get her out of the seat and hand her to me, if I would have just let them go, you know what I'm saying? I thought that, and then that killed me out for years. That I would beat myself up over that, wondering about that, and then I just come to the conclusion when it's your turn to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my
So
brother passed 2 years ago, and he was a donor. He saved 4 lives. Yeah, his heart went to somewhere, and his kid, liver and kid, whatever
yeah. How'd he
saved
die?
4 people. He died in Chicago, man. He had a heart attack, and he was on the streets by himself, man. He died a horrible death. Actually, he was on the streets by himself and without a heartbeat for 9 or 10 minutes. They said before somebody found him, and they said, my sister sees this. She'll be mad for me saying this, but the truth is what it is. It's the human condition. I'm gonna keep
Human
it 100.
condition.
It's the only way I know how to keep it. You feel me?
Yeah.
But they said he had a crack pipe on him. It's the only thing he had, and the only thing he had in his system was cocaine. That's what they told us at the hospital. No fentanyl, no heroin, no nothing, no weed, cocaine only. So I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Did he just do too big a hit or something? You know what I mean? And it exploded his heart. Whatever happened, it happened. But let's move on to something else,
Yeah.
please.
No doubt.
I was saying that. I'm sorry, I didn't
No,
mean
go
to
ahead.
interrupt you.
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
saying,
No,
I was telling you
please.
why I wouldn't take it back, and because my girl Nikki, I love her more
Shouts
than
out Big
anything.
Nick.
I love you, Mama, and I wouldn't have her right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just look at it like that, man. And
Yeah.
it's your turn to go. It's your turn to go, and nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. But I mean, it makes you question as to why, why such a hand was dealt so heavily one way. Be hard to on a spiritual journey, trying to find, and you do arrive at this spot where you find a higher power, then you find yourself questioning that higher power as to why that they would allow something of this nature to happen to
Yes.
to somebody to
Yes.
to study. I mean, ultimately, it had to. When you look at a tree's rings, over the years, you can see how old they are, but also you can see by how far the rings are apart as to how much nutrition and the environment at the time. Same goes for a human, So very early on there in your rings, in your tree, is always going to be a huge lump, right? That you can always visually tell that is there. I'm sympathetic to your situation. I didn't even know that about you until we took that ride to the batting cages. And now, on another note,
you lucky the batting cages was closed that day. We didn't get to go.
hey, well,
I was
I'm
gonna
sure
show out on you.
if they ain't open now, they're gonna be shortly. And I got my tokens in the glove box ready to go, and my batting gloves.
All right.
Guy from Chicago, they gonna take me to Wrigley Field
because I ain't got none.
We're going. Speaking of which, boom. How'd you get to loving these things?
Oh man! And I heard you say something about Wrigley Field too a while ago. Before you said something about.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know Pete Rose played for a different team other than the Reds. I didn't even know he played for another team. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he played for Philly.
Yeah, there it is. Only if I didn't have the card, I would believe it.
Yeah.
I thought he was,
Yes, sir.
I thought he was like Icky Woods. Only was with one team, but Mr. Charlie Hustle, baby.
Charlie Hustle.
Rep the 14 like Pete Rose.
Why you ain't got this in some plastic, nigga?
I just acquired it. I just realized that.
You just acquired it.
Yeah. What about the other one there? Is that
That's McGuire. Mark McGuire, yes sir.
How early on is that? Is it rookie?
No, this ain't his rookie.
Yeah. What year are we looking at for his rookie?
Is
80s, early 80s?
89.
89 is his rookie. What year is that card?
I don't know. I can't see it, big dog.
Nah, I can't either, bro. I just know what they look like. Yep. But that Pete Rose, that's I seen that. I was like, damn.
That's probably like a 94, 95 because it's his fifth year right there. So his rookie was 89. So 93, 94, that card probably is.
Yeah, that's a good era. That's what I've learned about.
You said I had this one, didn't you?
Well, that's you've had this Mark McGuire before you have that Pete. I collect all things Pete. I gotta quit saying I collect, and I just I be just putting it all in a box. But yeah, what I've come to know about cards is you're looking for eras. You're looking for an era of 85 to 88.
That's where your money's at, especially like if you got a card with the wrong name on it. If it's
So what made you love them baseball cards?
Just I love sports, man. Growing up, that's all I did was play ball, man. And like I said, in Chicago, it was rough. I ain't gonna lie, when we was little, sometimes we didn't have no ball or nothing to play with. We played. We had to play with a can. We played kick the can. It's the only game we can play. Sometimes, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I played ball all my life, and I fuck with sports hard, sports and music.
So who's your sports team?
I'm sorry, Nikki. I ain't even mean to say that.
What'd you say? I didn't hear it.
You asked me, and I said sports, music, and bitches. That's all I fuck with.
Oh yeah, well she'll understand.
No, she won't, nigga. You know she won't. She ain't got
she'll
no
understand.
She ain't playing.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man, Nikki, man, I tell you how I met her as.
Let me set this up. Nikki, your old lady. Somehow y'all found yourselves together down here, and she by way of Mississippi or no?
Louisiana.
Yeah. And then you by way of Chicago. Y'all meet in Chicago, and however the winds blow, here y'all down here. So you tell us how you met her?
Well, here's how the winds blow. I did 60 days in Cook County Jail, and I got out, and I went to my cousin's out on Manheim Road. They call it the Strip. It's out there by O'Hare Airport. And because I'm going to get high, I was ready to get high. You know what I mean? I know if I go to my family in the city, they firm. They don't fuck around. They don't get high or nothing. So I went on out there, and how I met her was my cousin is staying in a hotel. That's who I was staying with. And in the morning when he got up, he went to work at like 5 o'clock in the morning. and I'd have to get out until he come back from work because the maids catch me in there, whatever, you know what I mean? They charge him double and shit, you know what I mean? But so that's why I had to do that. But that's how I met Nikki. I was waiting on the bus, and like I said, it was the middle of winter. It was snow out, a foot deep, and I was standing in the street, looking down the street, waiting on the bus, and I looked back the other way, and I seen her coming up the street. You know what I mean? I sit there, damn, what's that little motherfucker right here coming up the street? You know what I mean? I'm fresh out of jail anyway. I'm
Where you weigh?
ready.
Where you weigh? Fresh out of jail, where you weigh?
In Chicago.
Yeah, I'm saying, where you weigh?
Oh, 205, 200.
What are you now?
175, 180 probably.
Yeah.
And
so you see her?
I seen her, and I wasn't gonna say nothing to her. You know what I mean? To be honest, because she just. I mean, she was decked out. She had her little Jordans on. It was snow out too, and she's walking in some Jordans and decked all out. You know what I mean? I wasn't gonna holler at her because I didn't think her bus pulled up, and she was walking a little bit behind me by the bus pulled up, and I took a step up on the bus, and I heard her say, "Hey," and I turned around, and she said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from here. Where are you from?" And she said,
"It's Greyhound bus."
No, a CTA bus. We was in Chicago. I was just
City Transit.
Yes, sir. And I remember I had one leg up on the bus, but I held the other leg out on the ground still, so the bus couldn't pull off. You know what I mean? I was trying to hold the bus up and holler at her and shit. And I was putting my change in the meter, rapping to her, talking to her and shit. And long story short, she just said, "Well, holler at me later." And I seen her a couple days later. I was asking all my friends and shit about her, and they told me her name was Nikki. And to be honest, when I met her, man, you know, it is what it is. It's the human condition, like you say. I'm gonna keep it 100. I ain't gonna hold nothing back. I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
And her mama might see it. My mama might see it. My mama-in-law, and I ain't going, but I ain't gonna say. Nikki was her when I met her. For real, she runs shit out on Manheim Road.
Yeah, she gonna be on the podcast.
Yeah, she gonna. You saving the best for last. Believe that.
She gonna be on the podcast. She gonna tell her.
So I seen her a couple days later, and I talked to her, and she told me, she said, "I'm gonna be down at the 3-story down there." The 3-story was a hotel. They call it the 3-story because they had 3 floors to it. Duh. But anyway, that's where I went and seen her. She was at my buddy Ken's house, and I went and seen her. I just walked in and laid right on the couch, right on her back. She was laying on her stomach. I laid right across her back, and the rest is history. But come to find out, my baby runs shit, and she was crazy about me. And I knocked as soon as I got to it.
My man.
I didn't have to, you know.
My man. And he said the rest is history.
I wasn't playing about my baby. I wanted her. She was cute in the motherfucker. She's still cute.
Man, I seen her going to bingo tonight with her lipstick on. So how long ago was that when y'all met?
2013. Me and Nikki got down here. My sister was living down here in Aberdeen, and my buddy Ken, he had a I can talk about it now because it's all over with. I done went to jail for it and everything.
Yeah.
But he had a stolen car, and I remember that day I talked to Nikki, and she told me, she said, "Ken's looking for you, and he's in a stolen car. Don't you go around him, whatever, you know what I mean?" And I was like, "I'm not, babe, I'm not." But I hung up with her and called him, and right up and said, "Where you at, homie?" And wherever he said he was at, but he said, "I'll be at the house to get you in a little while." And he come pick me up, and Nikki wasn't getting in it at first, and but he got it. He was walking down Manheim Road, and there's car lots on it. Like I said, they call it the Strip and shit. It's by O'Hare Airport. And he said there was a car running in a car lot, and he walked on by it. At first, it was nice. It was like a and it was new back then because, like I said, this was 2013. It was like, I think it was a 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe Super Sport or something like that. It was silver. Bitch was nice. The guy put rims on it and everything like it was mine. I had it for 2 years. Drove it around.
Man.
And me and her was running back and forth from Chicago to down here, and me, her, and my sister, we was headed up to Chicago in it, and we stopped. Long story short, got pulled over, and I went to jail, to Justice Center. They give me 90 days.
Oh, so you went to Cincy? It's Justice Center.
Yeah, they give me. I got caught in Greens Township.
That's
though,
motherfucking 3 floor for real, right?
Nigga, you ain't lying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know who I seen in there? Adrian Bronner. You know the boxer Adrian Bronner?
Yeah.
He's from Cincinnati, and he was in there when I was in there in the same cell with me.
Yeah, that's tough time in that.
Yeah, and I remember we go and shoot ball and shit, and he. I mean, of course, we all know what he is with his hands. He's cold, but he'd shoot that ball. He's cold shooting too.
Yeah.
I shot ball with him, yeah. And anyway, I got out from the Justice Center, and I had the keys where we had the keys to it. You know what I mean? They really couldn't. I think just possession of. Yeah, because I had the keys. It's just the owner's word against mine is all it is. Because I can say I know him, and he give me the keys, and he can say no, he don't. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you know I can crack a column, but I learned that if you got the keys, it's better.
True.
And you know what I mean? Homie, and then here's how me and Nikki ended up with the car. My homie had the car, and that day he wanted to stop at Lowe's, and me and Nikki we always had a lot of money. You know what I mean? Because we both we'd hustle and shit, and I make $700-800 a day. She make the same, if not more. And me and her did that, and we paid $68 a day for 3 or 4 years straight. I know at the Econo Lodge on Manheim, and we made a lot of money. They loved us at that hotel. If we didn't have to rent, they didn't care. They say just pay us later, it's okay, because they knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and then Nikki, come to find out, she cooked all the dope boys' cocaine up for us. She's Chef Boyardee with the cocaine.
Yeah.
That's what she did. And when I met her, they, you know, after a couple of weeks, they didn't go through Nikki no more. They had to go through me then.
Yeah, she the boss. She the boss. Also, when we was going to the batting cage, that's when because originally when we had met, you know, one of the first things that come up is, what is Ron Reed to you?
I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't going to bring it up in the interview.
No, it's the human condition, baby.
You're right. You're right. And Ronnie Reed to me is my cousin, and he's my second cousin. He's pretty close to me. You know what I mean? And
you was with him
day, that story that I was telling you that day when I said I was with my cousin.
When you found out about your mom, dad, and grandfather dying in a car wreck, you were with him.
Yes, sir. Ronnie Reed is the man that was with me. That when I said we was gonna play guitar and we had some chicks and shit coming over, whatever. That's
to me, he was a scary motherfucker, especially after the fact of what happened and retaliation. Honestly, I've had to deal with that in all kinds of ways. Let me see if I can. Ronnie Reed, we talk about, is a victim in a case of mine from 99, 98. I forgave everybody and myself. Young men coming of age, on their left to their own devices, trying to be something, and you find yourselves on paths that get you mixed up in situations where you can't see all the angles. I hold no hard feelings. You know, I don't talk shit or anything like that. I don't even fucking hate to even fucking bring it up, but you know what I'm saying? If you want to look at shit, October of 1998, shit, changed shit forever around this motherfucker.
I'm like you. I don't hold no hard feelings. I was the first to tell you that. You know that. You my dog.
Yeah, and
I love you, homie.
And you forgave. And we say forgive. I'm saying forgive in the sense that it doesn't have to be forgive in the book of yours or the book of somebody else's to say, well, this is what's supposed to be.
I don't give a fuck what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm talking about me and you.
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
just want you to know that
No
because
doubt.
I love you. You my homie, bro. And,
Yeah, no
and,
doubt.
and Ronnie Reed, he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He was. I'll be the first to tell you. He was. But at the same time, you know what I mean. I kind of grew up with him. It's my
Yeah.
cousin. You know what I mean.
He was a little older than me. See, it's I was just a little age gap there. How is he older than you?
Yeah, he was older than me.
How much?
About 4 years, I think. 3 or 4 years older than me, I think.
Why don't you volunteer some areas out there of some interest to us in your life?
My little cousin Donnie, he had got burned up with a bunch of acid, and the reason how it happened was in our alley behind our house, like 3 or 4 houses down, there was a factory, and they threw some stuff out in the garbage that they wasn't supposed to throw away. It was like stuff in containers, or some kind of powdered acid or something. And my cousins went down there, and I don't know, one of them kicked it or throwed it up or something, and it come down and hit Donnie all on his chest, and it burned him up real bad. And rest in peace, Donnie. He died too, my cousin. And that stuck out to me. I always remember that because I remember when he come home, I was there, and his shirt had holes in it where it burnt through his shirt, and his skin was just peeling off his chest. It was bad. I remember that, and that's one of the things that stuck out to me that I always remember.
I mean, there in Chicago, when you think back as a youngin', there where you was, what was them?
That was Taylor Street Jousters. Yeah, that's
Taylor
their
Street
emblem there.
Jousters.
That's how they drew their emblem. Yeah, they rode under the 5, and we was in St. Unknowns. We rode under the 5 too, and her boyfriend, they call him Poppy's what they call him. I didn't say his real name, but he was the chief of the Unknowns. By D&D, Damon and Dickens, and that's what set we was from. So, because we lived on North Avenue in Ashland, it was just 3 blocks away from there, and he was the chief, so we didn't have to take no violation or nothing. We got blessed in.
Blessed in.
And it means a lot in Chicago. I mean, especially if you're going in and out of jails, it
means a lot anywhere. It meant a lot right here, you know, and maybe like honestly, where I have made a conscious decision to, I wear red now. Like if you go back to any photos of me, you can go back to any of my socials and everything. I never did, and so we was Gear Gang, Dude's Crib. Shout out to 2-1, but a lot of that shit helped me through the joint. But then you find out that nobody is ever collectively, unless it's family or some sort of almost blood oath type of faction. When I say this, I don't mean criminal or anything of the sort. I mean to things to be loyal to in life, that you would absolutely pledge your loyalty forever and be willing to be held to it.
You was talking about family. You know, sometimes you can't even, in loyalty, but to be honest about it, sometimes your families be your worst enemies.
Yeah.
Just like we was talking about Ron Reed a while ago.
I was always in some shit, though. I was on the boots on the ground, hands in the jar, in the fucking everything, you know, like, and that was me trying to navigate as a young one without no male role model or male influence that actually gave me some pointers. You know, some old man that told my young ass a few things to look out for, and I was finding them out. I was taking my lumps. I found them all out the hard way.
Man, because me and you been through a lot of the same shit, you know what I mean, on the streets and shit, and still to this day, I be in them streets. I be, you know what I mean.
Doubt.
But you,
I keep my finger on the pulse of things.
You family orientated. You got your shit together here. You know what I mean. Your kids are all good kids, and your wife, and you got shit together, man. And I'm proud of you, big dog.
Thank you.
For real.
Once you get it past trying to get what you want, you're provided with what you need, and usually what you need is all you wanted. So, you know, we get out of our own way and don't sabotage ourselves.
I've seen a lot, man. My sister today, I'm very proud of my sister Sheila. She used to, you know what I mean, she used to get high and stuff, and today she's, I think, 5 years clean. She's
Congratulations.
shout out to my sister Sheila, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's 5 years clean, and she holds her own AA meetings and actually sponsors other people and everything, and she's doing really good today.
Well, that usually what helps somebody is to help somebody. I just did it again, didn't I? Psh, you have to watch me when I'm hot. They just come.
I actually can't believe I'm sitting here with you for real. I didn't mean to interrupt you again because I remember when I come down here, I you know, Facebook and shit. I'd seen you on Facebook and whatever, and know you was in the music industry and shit. And I listened to some of your music, and I liked your music. And then my buddy, he was happening to be real close and play in your band and shit. And
One John Barlow.
oh yes, sir. Shout out John Barlow, my dog.
Man, John Barlow.
And
He's part of the crew.
he's part of the human
for a
condition.
reason.
Yeah, and part of 14K for a reason.
Mhm.
He's been here. He's been with you the whole time,
Yeah,
ain't he?
he's a
He burned that motherfucking guitar up on him.
Yeah.
For real. It's a
6-string
shame.
murderer, 12-string monster. That's why I said in Krug Blues.
Can he play a 12 string? I know he can.
Yeah,
Nigga can play any damn thing. Because I was telling you, I can't believe I was sitting here with you because, you know, your band and stuff, and I heard your music, and then I was like, how did I meet you? And then it was through Barlow.
Yeah.
And that's what brought Barlow up. Listen to the craziest freestyle I ever heard in my life, and once again, I always keep shit 100. I'm not never going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm not just saying it because we're on a podcast or because you my homie or because you sitting right here.
Right.
But was that day we was at Ronnie's camper, and you came over, and it's the first time I met you, and I was like, damn, you know what I mean? Ryan Lee ain't bullshit. That's just
KY
that nigga,
Kruger.
you know what I mean? KY Kruger. And I remember we'd blow the blunt, whatever, and we wasn't expecting you to do nothing. Because usually I'm quick with my phone, or especially to catch something like that, you know what I mean? About halfway through that blunt, you just started freestyling, and I ain't never in my life, I don't know what you said, I don't remember what you said, but it made a lot of sense, whatever it was, and it was cold. I never heard no freestyle like that in my life, and that ain't no lie. When you rapped for like a nonstop freestyling, I mean, unbelievable. And I just looked at Ronnie, and he looked up at me, and I said, "Did you get that? Did you get that?" And he said, "Nope, I was getting ready to ask you." I said, "Fuck,
Yeah.
I can't believe it." Man.
And I'm like, some things are meant to just live in the moment, you know.
yeah,
Some
but I
things
know you remember that.
music is the quickest way from moving through life in your, headspace or whatever, to immediate gratification, thrill, or sadness, whatever you want to peak on there, back down again. You know, like a movie, it takes an hour and a half, 2 hours, some 3. Music is the quickest way to go get a fix. Get a fix of something that can help not only in the time it takes to listen to that song, but while it's still in your head throughout the day, or that little tune.
You're right. It could change your moods. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah. Or it could really fuck your mood up.
Yeah, it depends on what song you play, and we all know what songs that do what. You know what I mean? I know what songs that make me sad. I know what songs that make me get crunk.
And there's no way to take that out of a human that's in there. Like you can do a lot in life about. I mean, you can change a lot about yourself. You can go through great lengths and change things, and but you can't take away what those sounds mean to you.
Yeah. And we talk about them sad songs, man, and there's the first 2 songs that I would ever think of that I would play if I wanted to be sad, or if I heard it, it would automatically make me sad. They're both by George Jones. Vern Gostin, Chiseled in Stone, you know that one, I'm sure, and George Jones is the other one. He Stopped Loving Her Today. Those are 2 sad ones.
Oh yeah, see that's that down south in you, boy. They didn't have that in Chicago, did they? Or did they?
No, I mean they do. You know what I mean?
Motherfucker, listen, George Jones up there. Don't be acting like you don't.
They don't know who the possum is, really. Most
Man,
of them in
old
Chicago.
possum. Yeah, that's what the sad music is. If you want to cry in your beer, is absolutely. I mean, and those songs stay around for so long. Like my mother-in-law, she I'm like, put on some upbeat me. We had a little cookout, and she got control of the ox and all that. And I'm like, damn, and they get together, and they just love that sad shit. And I don't particularly want to party to that, but yeah, the music is been a way for me to enjoy existence throughout dark times and light, throughout freedom and the opposite of freedom. Whatever that is, it don't have to be jail, it don't have to be hell.
My dad, he wanted me to play guitar. He practically beat it into me. That it was a guy. One of my idols, actually, his name's Scott. He passed away too. Scott Davis. He played for a band called Diamond Rex in Chicago, and you can look him up on Facebook or whatever. He would come over, but the only way I'd see him about maybe twice a month. My dad would talk him into coming over and teach me how to play guitar for a few hours, but Dad would have to have volumes. That was the only way that nigga would come over. Mm-hmm. And you couldn't pay him, nothing. You'd have to have a nerve pill for him, and he'd come over and he'd play guitar. But I remember at 2:30, my dad would come pick us up. That's when he had to come pick us up at school. He'd have carry pistol and shit to come pick us up at school because a little boy got killed at our school and gang banging. They was gang banging real bad, and I don't know what the little boy got killed about, but to this day, but it didn't have nothing to do with us. We mind our own business, but I swear that talent, man, you, hey. Barlow, and your wife,
and my son,
Moolah. Don't forget Moolah.
Don't forget the Prince, baby.
Don't forget the Prince. Shout out Moolah.
Yeah, boy.
And Moolah's good on the guitar. Like you said earlier, he's holding back on the singing though.
Yeah, but you see it's there. Like he does it,
I promise it's there, and just when he gets.
Well, you got to think. Like, of course, my oldest son, JoJo. He, the music lives in him too. We're all drummers first, right? Some of the good times I recall. There was a time when there was like 3 sets. I had this little junior set, and then JoJo had a set, and then I had a set, and we would play. Jeremiah has been around. I just found a video the other day of him just being big enough to just sit on my lap, and we're behind a drum set, and he just banging on it. Very young toddler. He had the rhythm, the sound waves, it all. And that was, mine and my wife's first child. He's 16 now, so you gotta. He was in the womb at a Jay-Z concert, and I was in the womb of my mom when she was at an Eagles concert. I know it's looking too far.
Bred in y'all.
Yeah. Well, sure. my biological father is the founding member of the local band Nutrishock.
Yes, that's what Barlow was telling me.
Yeah, and anyway, these guys that were part of that band, I got a photo, right? I got a photo. They're on this old car. Anyway, what I'm saying is like to have it come full circle back to me not even meeting him before, to him being a drummer, me being a drummer just by nature. He's still alive now. He's down in it obviously fucks with me because I'm talking about it. So he's alive down in Florida, and I reached out to my sister that we share the same father, Sarah, and asked her if he would be receptive to meeting me for the first time on this show. She immediately had some concerns, none of which that I didn't already think of, because I'm thinking that I'm, grown with children, family. Honestly, I don't know how much power I've allowed him to have, because there ain't much you can tell me now. If the guy's still alive, right, and he obviously is, and shit, if your son you've never met, and I ain't even blaming everything on him. I'm not blaming everything on him. I know how shit goes, and I know how, shit goes. And that's what I say. With all that, letting go, man. Letting go of everything, bro. But I would like to meet him. My mom gone. My mom been gone a year as of February. And this has all been new terrain. I know she with me, got my back. And so I find power in that, along with all others close to me that I've lost. My brother Bully. My Bible was full of obituaries, and I've been the pallbearer too many times. And you get older, it's a lot of funerals, and then it's yours, and then it's like, well, what are they gonna say? Others tell your story, unless you leave some kind of print, If I was a caveman, I'd been carving on this same carving in the wall so long that they'd be like, they'll have to give it to me. That'd be like, that's the Warren Kruger card. And good, bad, or indifferent. I just been chipping away like Shawshank Redemption. And sometimes I feel, maybe. So, and 14K Records is celebrating 25 years. That's 25 motherfucking years. So you can tarnish something. You can build something, and then you can destroy something. You can unknowingly sabotage your structure, what you build.
Everything. You sabotage everything.
And if you get too far off base as to where the base of it lies, then it'll get so, it'll ultimately seal its demise. When you own something, you got to upkeep it. So if you got a legacy, you got to continue to make sure that you're giving to it. You got to give 12. This is what I've always known. When we started 14K Records back in 2001, me and White Mike, we were just young boys, and he believed in me, I believed in him, we believed in 14K, and we put wheels on it. We took action, didn't set goals, and then took action. A lot of times a day I see a lot of prepping, a lot of researching, a lot of looking into it, a lot of one day I might, a lot of scrolling and doing that.
Yeah.
And then until you ultimately out of time, and that shit be looking like when you ultimately think about it.
Don't be perping, get it done.
Yeah. No doubt. And when you go, and like when you get past trying to, maybe put on or whatever we do for other people that prevents us from being ourselves. Everybody used to say, I ain't worried about sticks and stones, breaking bones, but words never hurt them. But by God, don't say nothing wrong on any social media and let them pile on you, because you'll be crying in the closet trying to delete your account.
It's crazy. You, Barlow, your wife up there, she can sing her ass off. I'm telling you, that one song,
Death Row.
Yes, sir, that's it. Man, she can sing.
Let me play that shit.
I'm going to ask you, you said you burnt your rhyme book, you saying
all of them,
a couple minutes ago. You don't remember, would you like to go back and take that back? And you don't remember do you remember any of the shit you had wrote in it, or?
No. And now, looking back.
Man, it's hard telling, man.
Well, it really ain't, that's what I've learned. Like, I can show you right now boxes of this compulsive writing. When you see these boxes of notebooks with this writing in there,
Yeah, music is an addiction. I mean, just like I'm.
Yeah.
There's times I was trying to work out a lick on the guitar, and I get so mad at myself, and sometimes it takes me 2-3 days to play it or whatever. I wake up with that lick playing in my head. As soon as I wake up, it's automatically right there. It stays up there. And
yeah, it lives there.
You know how it is, yeah.
Yeah, it lives there. Pushed to a point where not only my music or my creative abilities to reach out and try to collectively pull all the resources of these things together, one can get strength from the other, one can learn from the other one. Because I just know that it's important. And as much as they try to make us feel like, traditionally I felt like that, well, music ain't allowed in the courtroom. There ain't, and music wasn't allowed, You know what I'm saying? I went to boarding school and they took music, they took everything. It was 2 licks for even being. There's 2 licks for dancing, bro. And you can define dance however you want.
That's crazy, ain't it, man?
What? Mm-hmm. So,
Because
after my mom died, I went downstairs in her area, and there was this. I took 3 things after coming back from the hospital. This, half a blunt, and a lighter. Pink Bic, half a blunt. And this was there. She didn't write this at that time, but it says, don't dictate your vision based on your provisions. When your preparation meets opportunity, your purpose is released. The amount of success you have is determined by the amount of diversity that you can endure. Anointing minus character is just entertainment. Prodigies want what you've learned. Parasites want what you've earned. Yeah, my mom, just that handwriting, them big loops, and those, she used a lot of exclamation points and underlining stuff. But, yeah, I find power in those, and I find fuel to keep the thing going. In closing here, you want to plug your page, you want to shout out to maybe a clothing company that you know. Might be
man, the only clothing company I know and the only clothing company I fuck with is Relic Jeans.
Shouts out Relic Jeans.
Shout out to 14K. We're gonna get this ball rolling.
Also EZK2517. Just keep your eyes peeled. You'll be seeing that.
Watch out for
squeezing in on you.
EZK2517.
Well, I want to thank you again for coming through.
Yes.
So remember, this ain't fiction. This the human condition.
They give you, see my lips, they never speak. My eyes, they never tear. Never in here, never fear. Because my ears, they never hear. I'm a dead man walking. Thirst don't bring you water. And I'm dog tired, boss. Walking the green mile to the slaughter. So please.
When it's time for my last request, tell